This is our beautiful historic Branch Theater. It's the home of Lemoyne Community Arts. Of course. I'm Carol Mason. I'm president of LCA, and I'm your house manager for this afternoon. Okay. Our story is about present day. It takes place in an old abandoned gas station 60 miles from Ogunquit, Maine. The story is a psychodrama filled with intrigue and fantasy. Scotland Road was written by Jeffrey Hatcher and directed by our own Wynne Guglielmo. This adventure is a word-driven dialogue play where subtleties are relayed, sometimes in a word or phrase, so pay attention. Our director, Wynne, deserves tremendous credit for bringing to Lemoyne this beautifully staged contemporary performance. I do have some housekeeping. Silence your cell phones if you haven't already. No flash photography. There'll be a 15-minute intermission. You'll be able to get another bottle of water or some cookies. Emergency exits are clearly marked. There's one right behind you, the way you came in. The second is to my right, through the door, down the hall, out the side door, down some steps, into the yard. And it's lovely out. Okay. Bathrooms are behind you, through the entryway, off the entryway in there. One last note. Membership in LCA is only $20 a year. And it's our donations, it's our ticket sales, it's what keeps our lights on in this building. So we really rely on our members for support. Their membership forms, they're just half sheets on the back table. Grab one on your way out, fill it out, send it in, and join us. Recently, just to let you know where money goes, we just installed hot water heaters in our bathrooms. For 20 years, we've had cold water when we washed our hands, so we're done.
Aw, poor thing.
Well, let me tell you, now that we're open in the winter, which is really cool, which we weren't up until a few years ago, having hot water is really important. Okay, enough business. Thank you very much. Sit back and relax and enjoy this fantastical journey.
Hotter. It's 72 degrees. Hotter. I want her to melt.
This is her room. She is my patient. I am her doctor.
Who's paying for it?
74. No hotter.
I want this room kept completely clean. No books, no papers, no magazines. No one speaks to her. Bedroom here, food brought in there. Your staff's contact, absolute minimum. Cameras are watching, microphones are listening. One of them whispers something to her, passes a note, anything. We'll see, we'll know, and they're out.
They can't speak.
What if she doesn't either? One word muttered upon a fishing trawler does not a wordsmith make.
Your list arrived. Everyone she came in contact with since she was picked up. Norwegian fishermen, Icelandic villagers, the doctor in Keflavik, his nurse.
14. None of them speaking English.
Keflavik is pretty isolated. The tabloids picked it up off the wire service via a rotor stringer in Reykjavik. One of the crew phoned it in.
I read about it in the desert, Badlands, South Dakota. 7:15 a.m. A gas station, 7-Eleven. Paying at the counter. Looked down, saw the tabloid in the rack. I was here within 48 hours. Your report.
Female, Caucasian, age 25 to 30. Height, 5 feet 4 inches. Weight, 113 pounds. Hair, dark. Eyes, blue. Green sometimes. No physical damage. No surgical. Cass Warren said to me, signed to me, that she walked the bedroom floor before we brought her in here. She does not like sitting in. Cass Warren said to me, signed to me, that she walked the bedroom floor before we brought her in here. She does not like sitting in. After she said the word ice, she said the following. It's cold, it's cold, it's so very cold. Please do not make me get into the water. Please, please, do not let the water come. Take me up, take me up, take me all the way to the Hebrides. There are others. You have 6 more days. A Night to Remember by Walter Lord. The loss of the SS Titanic. The truth about the Titanic. Discovering the Titanic. Raise the Titanic. Look, the Titanic. I found the Titanic and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. You carry all of this with you?
They're old friends. I can tell you on what page, on what line, every sentence lies.
In Finnish, in Swedish, in German.
Know your material, but don't ever interrogate her by yourself. Leave that to me. You keep her healthy, I'll keep her wise. You contacted the clinic?
I told them the patient has a chill.
Have to raise the temperature.
I want to warn you, we cannot be sure she will speak again. Last night was caused by a traumatic event. We don't know why she responded to your name, to the name Astor. And we've let her go 13 hours since. You could have a full retreat. The rest could be silence.
My name is Winifred Coots. I was born February 16th, 1886, Schleckford, Wales, Cardiganshire. My father was Gilbert Edward Coots, a gardener. My mother, Elizabeth Riss-Mogg. My father died of convulsions after eating a cherry stone on October 29th, 1904. My mother died 6 years later. On December 1911, my aunt, Miss Clara James, procured for me a position as a parlor maid in service of Mrs. George Haberland Coe of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. On April 8, 1912, I took the rails to Southampton, where I arrived that evening and stayed at the Young Ladies' Hotel of Mrs. Edwina Flossie and her son Gerald before boarding the RMS Titanic with a third-class ticket, 1 chest, 2 pair of gloves, 2 pair of shoes, 2 carpet bags, 2 shawls, 3 petticoats, 2 skirts, 1 woolen coat, a brush made of Dutch whalebone and real Spanish horsehair, a copy of the Strand magazine, and a Welsh Methodist Bible belonging to my mother, Elizabeth Riss-Mogg Coots, who had died of the influenza. I had never been at sea before. I knew no one aboard the Titanic. On April 14th, at 10 in the morning, I attended services. Afterwards, I spent the rest of the day with others of my station. I retired to bed that evening at 9:30 p.m. I read my Bible, I fell asleep, and I was awoken by a loud sound. I don't remember anything after that. And I didn't appreciate the bit with the forks. My name is Winifred Coots. I was born February 16th, 1886, Schleckred, Wales, Cardiganshire. My father was Gilbert Edward Coots, a gardener. My mother, Elizabeth Riss-Mogg. My father died of convulsions after eating a cherry stone on October 29th, 1904. My mother died 6 years later. On December 1911, my aunt, Miss Clara James, procured for me a position as a parlor maid in service of Mrs. George Haverland Coe of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. On April 8th, 1912, I took the rails to Southampton, where I arrived that evening and stayed at the Young Ladies' Hotel of Mrs. Edwina Flossie and her son Gerald before boarding the RMS Titanic with a third-class ticket, 1 chest, 2 pair of gloves, 2 pair of shoes, 2 carpet bags, 2 shawls, 3 petticoats, 2 skirts, 1 woolen coat, a brush made of Dutch whalebone and real Spanish horsehair, a copy of the Strand magazine, and a Welsh Methodist Bible belonging to my mother, Elizabeth Riss-Mogg Coots, who had died of the influenza. I had never been at sea before. I knew no one aboard the Titanic. On April 14th, at 10 in the morning, I attended services. Afterwards, I spent the rest of the day with others of my station. I retired to bed that evening at 9:30 p.m. I read my Bible, I fell asleep, and I was awoken by a loud sound. I don't remember anything after that. And I didn't appreciate the bit with the forks.
Out.
But none of that material is classified. Anyone could dig it up in a library. And furthermore, if she says anything that isn't contained in that material, it doesn't necessarily disprove her story because
Because there's nothing here that would contradict her. Who's to say if there was a Bible in her room? Who's to say if she was reading the Strand?
Take me up, take me up, take me all the way to the Hebrides?
There are others.
She says she's Welsh. Why the Hebrides?
She does not remember those first words she spoke last night after she said ice.
There are others? There are no other living survivors. The last died a year ago, a baby that night. I need to take some pictures. We have cameras, yes?
Yes.
I'll need film developed this afternoon if I'm going to do what I want. Bribe them if they'll say it will take longer.
What are we going to do?
Me to know, you to butt out.
Are all of the Astors as involved with the Titanic as you?
I wouldn't know. Run along. We're going to the movies. Do you know what a Nickelodeon is? A lantern show?
Yes, have them in Schleckred.
All the really big towns. I'm sure they've advanced a great deal since you might have seen them last. Photographs are not unknown, of course. Moving pictures, too, in 1912. Although, I doubt Georges Méliès or Max Senator D.W. Griffith have yet trundled Mr. Edison's machine all the way to Beckford.
I have heard.
Well, it's still a lantern show for us today. Should be fun. Pictures, snapshots of faces, of rooms, of a ship. Forgive the quality. not cooperating today. I think I'm getting all set. Okay,
Technical problem?
so, lady on the promenade deck, look familiar?
Hard to say.
Family on the boat deck, know them?
Can't tell. Not a very good picture.
We do tend to think of that world in black and white, don't we? Elderly gentleman?
No.
Little boy?
No.
Musician?
No.
Children in the nursery?
Wait. Wait. No.
Couple at the gangway?
No.
Black steward?
No.
All right, let's take a different perspective.
What is that?
These next pictures are under the sea. A ship found a few years ago beneath the Atlantic. The prow of a ship, a barnacle-encrusted railing, a porthole, disembodied head. No, it's not a skull. It's a doll's head, probably from the nursery, still a smile on its lips. The body's all decomposed within a few years. By the early 1920s, there wouldn't have been anything left. A pair of ladies' high-button shoes, lying on the bottom of the sea. The only thing that seemed to have survived were shoes and boots. Chandelier on the palm court. Chamber pot. Champagne bottles. Iceberg. That's the one. Some say that is the iceberg. It was spotted by the German liner, the Prince Adelbert, on the morning of April 15th, 11 hours after the sinking. Some say there was a red line like red paint, a red slash across the bottom. But the photograph's in black and white. So we will never know. Know him?
He looks very noble. Who is he?
Oh, I doubt you would have met. Unknown man on the third-class staircase?
Astor.
I'm sorry?
Astor.
That's an unknown man on the third-class staircase. That is not an Astor. Wait, what? Wait, what is it?
I just wanted to go on. I just wanted to go on. I just wanted to go on to the household of Mrs. George Haverland Go of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Places to go, people to see. Has she identified any of the photographs?
No, not directly. Her temperature did go up a few degrees at this one.
What is it?
Unidentified man at the third-class staircase.
Who is he?
I don't know. That's why they call him unidentified.
Did she say anything? Identify him? Name him?
No.
Well, then what are we supposed to see? He's just a man unlucky enough to be on the Titanic.
I used to have a dream where I'm standing on the dock at Southampton, April 10, 1912. The day the Titanic left on its maiden voyage. I'm standing with a crowd below the gangway and I can't find my ticket. I know I belong on board. I know I have a place. They have to let me on board because I'm the only one that knows what's going to happen. And then I look up and the ship has begun to slide from the dock. And the crowds have stopped cheering and the faces have vanished and the ship has disappeared. And I'm surrounded by darkness and I'm alone at the edge of the sea.
And you want to board the ship? so you can warn them.
I want to board the ship so I can be there when it comes. Oh, never mind. You're right. It's just a man unlucky enough to be on the Titanic.
Did she identify Titanic as Titanic?
No confusions, no mistaking it for the Lusitania, the Andrea Doria, or the Queen Mary.
What did she say about the Hebrides?
Nothing.
You asked her about the Hebrides and she said nothing.
I didn't ask her about the Hebrides.
And take me up.
I didn't ask her about Take Me Up.
There are others?
She seemed tired.
Well, there are others. This. Clipping last year. Last survivor of the Titanic dies. Stamford, England. A Mr. A.L. Richardson. Aged 3 at the time of the disaster. But you took that last for granted. This. A Miss Frances Kittle. Number 2, Cape Race, Algonquin, Maine. Listed as F. Kittle on the Carpathia Survivor Manifest, April 15, 1912. Her name disappears off survivor lists in 1966, but she did not die. She's alive and living at number 2, Cape Race, Algonquin, 60 miles from here. I talked with her. I told her.
That is a breach. Our agreement.
She said she wants to come here. She's very frail. She's in a wheelchair. She has a nurse with her at all times. At first, she would not meet with me, but then she did. She is I've told her everything we have. She is very excited to meet Winifred.
When does she come?
Now. This is not meant. This is not meant to frighten you. She is very old. She simply wants to meet you.
And you want me to meet her?
What Mr. Astor is doing with you, bringing you here, keeping you here, would be completely unacceptable in my profession. It would be unheard of. It would be a crime. Of course it worked. In my profession, I work with people who can speak but won't speak. It often takes months, years to get someone to break that kind of silence.
Is it lonely to spend such time in silence?
I live in Iceland. What's the difference? The thing is that as much as I want them to, when they do speak, it is such a disappointment. Their thoughts, their words are always so much smaller than the ones that I made up for them in their absence. Until now. She will not harm you. She simply wants to speak with you.
I trust you. You're my doctor.
I should tell you, I am not a doctor, not in the way that you mean. I am a professional. My supervisors give me a great deal of responsibility at the hospital. I do have some medical training. A couple of lives ago, before I got dropped out, got married, got divorced, ran away to that unbelievable place in the middle of the Atlantic. I will have my doctorate soon, though. All but the dissertation. None of this makes much sense to you, does it?
Yes, you're not what you seem.
We will want you to wear this again. I want you to know that I believe you will do very well.
When does she come?
Now,
It was when I saw Telly Savalas fingering my great-grandmother's earrings. I knew then that I had to dedicate myself to preserving the Titanic's sacred memory. The whole televised exhibition was violent in its disrespect. That bald man posturing there, somewhere in France, as so-called experts in rented tuxedos and clip-on ties sat up on a stage under a tacky chandelier and smeared their fingers over the coins, the money boxes, the silverware, the jewelry, all ripped from the cold, dead corpse's fingers.
There weren't actually corpses, were there?
I'm sorry?
There weren't actually corpses. They didn't actually find corpses. There weren't really the remains of corpses.
I was speaking metaphorically.
Yes, of course you were, dear. When will she be out?
She'll be out in just a few minutes. Dr. Hallbrook's just making sure that she's ready. Is there anything that you need?
No. If I do, you may get my nurse who is on the other side of that door. Is it stuffy in here?
We do keep the temperature rather warm. I should tell you, in this place, there are certain words that we don't use in front of her.
Words?
Like air conditioner. Words a woman from 1912 couldn't possibly have known. We've managed to be rather pristine on this matter. I'm sure you will follow our lead.
When Dr. Halbrook told me about the situation, I expected a very different sort of place. I expected a hospital, or a sanitarium, a converted mansion, one of those ghastly glass and steel things. But this, from the outside, this looks very much, so much like a...
Gas station?
Yes.
That's what it was. The cinder block and tank holes out front give it away. Abandoned years ago, perfect for our needs. Isolated, nothing around for miles except the coast road and the sea. Room inside for this room and her bedroom. Connect the plumbing and pipes. Space on the other side of that wall for monitors, cot, a hot plate. All done within less than a week. And heating works rather well, don't you think?
And you decided this was preferable to a hospital?
She's perfectly taken care of here. Dr. Hallbrook is a specialist in this area.
Dr. Halbrook specializes in passengers of the Titanic?
She's not being held against her will. She can leave any time she wants. All she has to do is say.
And she hasn't.
No, she hasn't.
Do you expect me to recognize her?
Oh, no, not hardly. After 80 years, she, on the other hand, may think that you can.
Why?
But you're authentic. I've prepared a list of questions for you to pose her about that night. Specific details that you might not, that you might have forgotten. Well, should you run into any problems, I'll be right there. I'm surprised others don't try to seek you out. The last living survivor of the Titanic, it's quite a thrill.
There was a time when it wouldn't have been so strange to meet one of us. There were 705 of us. You just had to go to the right parties.
Yet you've always lived in Maine on the coast in seclusion?
For 80 years.
Never married?
Not so far. I understand from Dr. Holbrook that you know quite a lot about the Titanic.
Yes, I do.
Why? Other ships have been lost after all the time.
But the Titanic was different. The Titanic was the greatest ocean liner ever built, carrying aboard the most glittering figures of the day. The Titanic represented the bounds of modern society, for its achievements, for its glory, for its pride, for its arrogance, for a society that created a structure that couldn't help but drag its creators down to their deaths. The Titanic was a metaphor.
Of course, we didn't think of it that way at the time.
Oh, but the stories, the Philadelphia millionaires playing bridge in the smoker's lounge right through to the end. Benjamin Guggenheim dressing in full evening clothes and opera cape. And my own great-grandfather, John Jacob Astor, standing on the promenade deck with his valet at his side as the ship was plunged beneath the waves.
Halcyon days.
But there was also great shame. The SS Californian sat 10 miles away and didn't lift a finger. The wireless operators that didn't put out the ice warning in time. And of course, the myth of a man who dressed as a woman to get off the ship. At any rate, anything that you can do to make her uncomfortable, make her squirm, that would be just the thing.
Oh, I enjoy watching people squirm.
I should warn you, the woman cries at times. It's all part of the performance. Don't be alarmed. She cries at photographs of the actual victims. A shoddy approximation of survivor's guilt.
What?
Survivor's guilt. That's when, well, you should know better than I.
Why?
Well, you're the last living survivor of the Titanic.
Maybe not. I've never understood survivor guilt. I lived, they died, who's to say who's better off? One always makes a bargain to pay for the grace of God, but you must be able to transform yourself. Whatever you transform yourself into, you must remain so forever. You define your future in the greatest moment of terror you have ever known. That which kept you alive will be what you are for the rest of your life.
We should start.
Do you dream of this? Yes? No? Sorry?
Miss Kittle,
Yes?
do you dream about the Titanic?
No.
Never?
Mr. Astor, when I was picked up by the Carpathia the day after the sinking, I did not speak a word to a single soul, not for days, not for weeks, not for months. And when we reached America, I returned to my family home, I went inside, I closed the door, and I have not set foot outside its walls until today. I don't have to dream about the Titanic. Dreams are a name we give our thoughts. Do you dream, Mr. Astor, of the Titanic?
Yes, I do.
Do you dream you're on a Titanic?
No, I don't dream I'm on the Titanic.
But if you had been on the Titanic, what do you think you would have done?
Behaved like a gentleman. Stood in the cold, clear night in full evening dress as the ship sank beneath the waves.
Alone? Why would anyone want to die alone? Mr. Astor, you're a very strange man. You're nostalgic for a disaster you never knew.
We should start.
Mr. Astor, don't be taken in by your dreams. There's more to the Titanic than the myth would have you believe. What you see, Mr. Astor, is just the tip. Let's start with a joke. they heard that the promiscuous actress had gone down on the Titanic. Not bloody surprising.
Oh my goodness.
Come closer, my dear. Closer. Turn around. Turn around. Yes, my, yes. The years have certainly been kinder to you than they have to me. I understand that you and I are members of a rather exclusive club. Sit. This is a horrid little room, isn't it? Simply ghastly. You do want to leave it, don't you? Just ask, and they will have to let you go. Otherwise, you are being held against your will. All you have to do is say. Very good. You're supposed to believe that I can recognize you out of 1,000 dead faces on a single night almost a century ago. Oh yes, I'll say, she was the pretty one playing with those chunks of ice on the A deck. Or, impossible, I memorized them all. This one is not one of them. Nonsense. Mr. Astor has compiled a list of questions for me to ask you, in case I've forgotten. Mr. Astor knows everything about the Titanic. Mr. Astor is a romantic, and a romantic knows that all good things in the end must die. A fishing boat found you on an iceberg, dressed as a young lady would have been dressed that night. I have been told what you have said, and that nothing you have said contradicts the known facts. You have spoken. So let us speak some more. I have a list of questions which I have prepared. Are you ready, my dear? Good. First-class passengers were separated from second and third-class passengers by a gate at the top of the staircase. What was the gate made of?
Wood, but the locks were made of steel.
Good. Correct. Men and women below decks in steerage had to follow certain rules those of us above did not. What did third-class men and women have to do?
Men slept on one side of steerage, and women slept on the other.
A pity, but correct. The lifeboat drill had gone smoothly enough earlier in the voyage. On what day at sea was the Titanic's lifeboat drill?
There was no lifeboat drill on the Titanic.
Quite right. You were apparently a third-class passenger. Third-class passengers could only come above their quarters to first class for one reason. What was it?
Services on Sunday.
Correct.
We would sit at the rear if you were third class.
Right.
Except for me.
Oh, really? And why was that? Go on.
I was late coming in, and it was crowded, so all the seats were filled up.
Go on, my dear.
So I sat in the front,
How very daring.
in the fourth row.
Go on.
A man gave up his seat for me.
He gave up his seat.
He was as near to me as I am to you.
Take me out of here.
Excuse me?
Take me out of here. You're all very clever, but I will not be part of a stunt concocted by 3 people for heaven only knows what reason.
Miss Kittle.
Haven't concocted any stunt.
There were no third-class passengers allowed to attend the first-class services.
No third class.
This woman was not on the Titanic. Look at her. There's no depth to that face. There's no darkness to those eyes. There's no terror. There's no awe. There's no loss. I have never seen this woman before, and she has never seen me.
She's right. I've never laid eyes on this lady before, and this lady has never laid eyes on me. This lady and I were not on the Titanic together.
Thank you, my dear.
When I saw this lady, she was not a lady. She had short hair, a small mustache, a burly frame, and how she fit into the dress and the shawl, only God can say.
Of Miss Frances Kittle. Of Mr. Francis Kittle. Of the person Kittle. I was preparing a statement for the authorities, police.
Caspar and Dane have put the body in the van. I am going to the hospital. One of us has to stay with her. Give me the keys to your van.
The keys?
Your car.
The keys?
There's not enough room on the van for me, Dane, Caspar, the nurse, Miss Kittle's body. Give me your keys.
You have to go?
Unless you want to answer questions. Keep her locked up.
But what if she asks to go? I'll have to let her go if she asks to go.
Keep her locked up. There's something else. A Canadian oil ship has picked up a man off the coast of Nova Scotia this afternoon. An elderly man in a kind of naval uniform. White beard, bullhorn in hand, captain's braid on his cap. He was sitting on a slab of ice. He says his name is Smith, captain of the RMS Titanic out of Liverpool. I heard about it on the radio.
Seriously?
Public radio. They've taken him to Halifax for observation. Keep her locked up. I'll be back in a few hours. There are others.
We're alone. We've never been alone before without them watching.
The others will be back soon.
You're afraid of me, aren't you?
I've had enough of this. I want your confession right now, in writing. I don't care if you're Finnish, Swedish, Norwegian, Italian, or 2 weeks out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, singing Near My God to Thee. There, now, I mean it.
You're very afraid of me, aren't you? You get things wrong, you know that, don't you?
Wrong?
We never played Nearer My God to Thee. The band played ragtime and palm court music and an Episcopal hymn called Autumn. Nearer My God to Thee would have been nice though too.
An Episcopal hymn, I would think, would be very difficult to identify so far beneath the promenade deck in steerage, especially for a Welsh Methodist.
We always know the song sung by our betters.
Sing. Sing it. What's the matter? Called your bluff? I know you better than you know yourself. You're pathetic.
You very much wish to kiss me, don't you?
What? I forget. You've been without someone for such a very long time, floating about on the ice. You must be cold as death.
Does that excite you?
I don't have to stay in this room with you. I can go outside. Watch you from outside.
I know you watch me. Would you rather hold my hand then? A gentleman would hold a woman's hand before he kisses her.
I don't want to kiss you.
Perhaps you're not a gentleman. All right.
Wait.
Do you want to follow me? What if you whispered it to me? It would be just you and me. I'd never tell. We are kindred spirits, you and I. Speaking will help. I want to help.
They found the captain.
They'll find others until you know what you must do. The next will be found 25 minutes from now, a man, in the Badlands of North Dakota. He'll be found wearing black silk evening clothes and a white life jacket. And when asked what his name is, he'll say, John Jacob Astor. When asked whether it is true that he saw his wife off and then awaited his fate on the promenade deck, he'll say, those sons of bitches kept me from the boats, and when I get back to New York, I'm gonna sue them for every penny they've got.
He would never say that.
He'll say that.
He was a gentleman. The Astors are gentlemen. I am a gentleman.
Are you? It's locked. They've gone, you know. You gave her your keys, remember?
Listen to me. I understand why you would do this act, this performance. Ever since you were a child, nothing has felt right. Not place, not time, not friends, not family. You always wondered if you were in the wrong place. You always wondered if you were the wrong person. And then, one day, you see a picture of a ship, a painting in rich oils, dark and shiny, royal blue water and a bright blue sky, a navy blue hull and a red waterline, and the funnels, the smokestacks, roaring a steam white plumage into the night. And you think about the people who boarded that ship that night and how they showed themselves at their best, at their finest, having the chance to prove in that one cold, bitter night just who they were, just the sort of stuff they were made of. And suddenly, you come to the surface from deep inside, and you find your voice, and you don't recognize its richness or its accent, but it's right. And then you stand in a certain way, and you comb your hair in a certain way, and you speak in a certain way, and it all fits. And who's to say that it isn't really you? Because who are you really? Say that to me. Say that to me and I'll understand.
In the hour of pain and anguish, in the hour of death and fear, suffer not our hearts to languish, suffer not our souls to fear. Who are you?
I am John Jacob.
No.
I am.
No.
I am. Oh, I am not.
Somewhere along the coast road, the doctor is coming. She's been stopped in the village before returning. She's been told of a man who, many years ago, changed his name to John Jacob Astor. A quiet fellow, very smart, very clever, very lonely, with a penchant for acting like a man to the manner born. He has an obsession, apparently, with a certain ship, a famous disaster. After a certain tabloid arrived at his place of work, a place called a 7-Eleven, he disappeared. He's been missing for 3 weeks now. He and a great deal of money that doesn't belong to him. They're coming for you. Do you want to hold my hand now?
Why are you here?
Because sometimes a cry can be heard, a voice can be heard. Across the desert, over the waves, and deep, deep into the ocean. There's no place for you in this world. No man should be so alone. No one should die so alone.
Tell me.
I didn't understand myself at first, not until I heard that name. I saw that photograph, and then I began to remember, bit by bit, piece by piece, remembering until I remembered more than I had ever known. Everything. Everything except what happened that night.
Tell me.
I can't.
Yes, yes, you can. I'm not an Astor. I have no great wealth. I am part of no great family. I wanted so to believe. I wanted so for you to be real so that I could be there. Tell me, help me, I'll help you.
The first time I saw him was on the third-class passageway. Sunday morning worship, feeling the eyes across the room during the hymn and the admonition, and then the eyes meeting at tip of the hat and offer to walk along the deck on a nice Sunday afternoon, and then a spot of tea, then supper, then more, and then the questions. What do you do before bed, darling? Oh, I read my Bible and then sometimes my Strand, but on Sundays just the Bible. And you know how they keep us here in third class, women on one side and men on the other, like we were children and they run the ship no better than us, but I know a way to cross over, and I know a way to come down from high above as well. And then it is dark, and the sea, and the sky, and the stars have gone by. And indeed, there is the Bible. It's closed, laid out across my breast, and the Strand even further away. And then the rap on the door then comes. Oh, a talk would be lovely, although it's not quite proper in the bedroom. And I'm to be in service, much like yourself, in the household of Mrs. George Haviland Coe of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, although I could never claim a position as fancy as yours, in service of such a fine family. I'm very envious, to be sure. And then more talk and laughter, hushed and quiet, and the question is asked, and asked again, and answered. And then in the dark, in the silence, in the murmur of the machines, in the heart of the ship, a finger draws along the side and wakes. And then there's a knock on the door and voices in the passageway. Let's go up, I say. Let's go up and see what it is. No, darling, not yet. Just a little longer. Let's go up and see. No, darling, not yet. A little longer. Just a little longer. But I want to see what it is. And so I look out the porthole, and it is ice. Mountains of ice, an ocean of ice, so beautiful in the calm, dark sea. And we've stopped. Let's go up and see, I say, but we don't. Listen, darling, I must go up and check on the master. But I'll come back and get you. You stay here, safe under the covers, and I'll come back. I know a passageway. It goes all the way through the ship from bow to stern. We can go all the way up to the first-class promenade deck, and no one will know. I'll take you up to see the beautiful seas of ice. This passageway, the officers call it Park Lane. The crew, they call it Scotland Road. I'll take you up Scotland Road. I'll take you all the way up, and we can see the beautiful ice. Oh, take me up. Take me up. Take me all the way to the Hebrides. He was so beautiful, my handsome valet to the Astors. He never came back.
A gentleman would have come back. I would have come back. I would have fought my way down from the promenade deck, through the crowds and the cries. I would come back for you.
Hold my hand.
The doctor?
We will be gone by the time she returns, and she will understand the silence.
And the captain and Colonel Astor?
The captain is at his post, and Colonel Astor is in his stateroom with his wife.
And the sea and the stars?
They're beautiful. Can you see?
It's a blank wall.
No, look.
It isn't a blank wall, it's a porthole.
Yes.
And I see the sky.
Yes.
And the stars.
Yes.
And it's such a cold, clear night.
And the sea?
And the sea, it's a black marble glass, like a mirror. And we're gliding through the sea and the sky and the night, and I'm here, I'm really here.
There. Do you see it?
What?
Look.
What?
There.
I see it. I see it. It's huge. It's a huge white mountain of ice. I can touch it. I can feel it. Hold my hand. Hold my hand. We'll go up. We'll go up. We'll go all the way up to Scotland Road. When does it come?
Now!
Yes, sir.